Hello everyone, dear friends. I received a wireless speaker from Tronsmart, model Hello 200, for repair. I once reviewed the exact same one. It's a good, powerful speaker. The owner said that at some point, it stopped turning on. We disassembled it ourselves, inspected it, but found no obvious defects, so we decided to send it to me. Well, let's try to figure out what could have happened. Let's start by checking the defect. I press the power button. The battery indicator lights up, but there's no other response. I can't even turn it off. That is, the speaker turns on, but doesn't start. It freezes when turned on. Well, let's see what happens when I connect the power cable. Power consumption is around 25 watts. The battery charging system is obviously working, but the button still doesn't respond. So the problem is definitely not a low battery. Well, I need to disassemble the speaker and examine the electronics. Maybe I can identify some problems, some obvious, some not. Disassembling this speaker model starts with the decorative speaker grille. I remove it. Next, I need to unscrew several screws securing the front panel. There are only 4 screws. The speaker's owner removed the rest. I remove the front panel. Several cables from the speakers and backlight extend from it to the board. I disconnect it. Some wires came loose without their connector housings. They remained in the board. I had to remove them and reinstall them. Good. Let's see how the defect manifests itself again. To do this, I reconnect the battery cable, since the speaker is frozen now, and press the power button. Everything is the same. The speaker turns on, and that's it. It seems to be frozen during the startup process. I wonder what the problem could be. I remove the electronics board. Most likely, the problem is with it. I disconnect all the wires from it, unscrew the screws, remove the volume control knob, and unscrew the encoder nut. Then I take out the board and carefully inspect it. I'm looking for anything interesting, like blackened components. But there's nothing of the sort. Everything is just like, it came from the factory, perfect. To make it easier to diagnose the board, I remove the battery from the speaker housing so I can connect it to the board. By the way, the battery voltage is 11 volts. This is the average charge level. The battery is assembled with lithium-ion cells. 3 cells, 2 batteries each. If fully charged, it will be around 12.6 volts. I connect the battery to the board. I turn it on with the button and measure the voltage across the power supply chokes. Typically, there should be voltages of the order of 5 volts, 3 volts, 1.8 volts, and so on. And, of course, there's a higher voltage to power the audio power amplifier. Some converters don't have an output voltage. This could be the cause of the speaker's malfunction, but in each individual case, it's necessary to figure out what exactly is being powered by the converter in question and what actually triggers it. This is quite a complex task that takes a lot of time, so while I was combing through other voltage sources, I found one suspicious voltage regulator that has 5 volts at the input but only 1 volt, or even less, at the output. It's labeled 6206A. After the decimal point is the number 33. Clearly, the regulator should output 3.3 volts. That's how it usually works. I found the data sheet for this regulator. Everything is correct. The output voltage should be 3.3 volts. In fact, it's significantly less. This could indicate that the regulator is faulty. But I won't jump to conclusions. I'll try applying voltage from a laboratory power supply to the 3.3 volt line. If the board starts up and responds adequately to the buttons, then the problem is definitely with the regulator. I'll solder a pin to its output. I'll connect the positive and negative terminals here. I solder them to any convenient ground connection on the board. I set the voltage to 3.3 volts with a 300 milliampere current limit on a laboratory voltage source. This is the maximum current for the stabilizer, according to the specifications. I connect the wires and the battery. After that, I turn on the 3.3V power source and press the power button. Great, the speaker turns on and starts up. It displays the current battery charge. 2 divisions. Pressing the power button again turns it off. Excellent. So the problem is a faulty stabilizer. They are available for sale on marketplaces. I ordered several new parts. All that remains is to install one of them in place of the faulty one. I desolder the faulty part using a soldering iron. Next, I apply a little flux and solder the new stabilizer. In this case, there's no need to protect the surrounding components from overheating, as all the plastic components are located well away from the hot airflow. Done! Incidentally, it was only at this point that I noticed that the factory stabilizer model was 6206A, and I installed 6203A. I didn't pay much attention to this at first, since both models are 3.3 volts. We'll examine the differences between these components a little later. For now, I'm cleaning off the remaining flux and replacing the board for testing. We'll see how the board behaves after replacing the stabilizer. The board turns on and off. Well, good. I can secure it with all the screws and proceed to complete assembly and testing of the speaker. But before that, I'll test the board with the speakers connected. I check that all channels are working properly. I turn on
the high frequency
and mid-frequency channels. Everything is there, everything is working. All the speakers are working. I can fully assemble the speaker. I secure the wire connectors with T7000 adhesive to prevent them from disconnecting during transport and operation. After assembly, I tested the speaker for several days. I fully discharged and charged it a couple of times. I found no other defects in the speaker's operation. Now, what about the stabilizers? What's the difference between the 6206A model that came from the factory and the 6203A I installed? So, according to the specifications, the 6206 operates with an input voltage of no more than 6 volts. The maximum output current is no more than 300 milliamperes. The 6203 operates in an input voltage range from 7 to 30 volts. In our case, the input voltage is 5 volts, and it shouldn't work at that voltage at all, but in fact, it works perfectly, starting from 3.6 volts. The stated maximum current is 100 milliamperes. True, this is with an input voltage of 7 volts. With a lower input voltage, the current should be significantly higher, because less voltage drops across the regulator, and therefore less power is dissipated as heat. The speaker's current consumption on the 3.3 volt line does not exceed 80 milliamperes. And in this case, my verdict: you can keep the 6203 regulator instead of the 6206. I guaranteed the owner that everything would be fine, but if anything happens, I will perform a repeat repair free of charge, and shipping in both directions, of course, is at my expense. Although I, of course, offered the owner to wait a little while for the 6206 regulators to arrive and install them as they came from the factory, but he refused. I think it's because of the long wait, about a month. In any case, the speaker has already been shipped to its owner. Let's hope there are no more problems with it. Dear friends, this is where I will conclude today. Thank you all for your attention, and see you at other repairs. See you soon.